Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to El Toro Cockerel. It's Jose and
And Colin, hey everybody.
how are you, Cole? Today, Friday.
Yeah, exactly. It's Friday. I'm good. Praying that work goes smoothly and that everyone's already in weekend mode, and so they're not going to be mad at me today. How did your work day go?
I was going to say, when we say Friday, how's Friday? And obviously, when the season starts, I'll be doing, and we'll be probably be doing a lot of Friday shows, and
Yeah,
we'll be saying the same thing to each other. For me, a Friday at 4 o'clock means I finish work for the day, usually. But today, I have finished the work for 2 weeks. I'm on leave for 2 weeks.
rub it
So,
in. Just
so
rub it
when I
in.
when I talk, when when you ask me my answer for a Friday, my answer for a Friday is different to your answer because you have yet to go to work because you have 2 days in a week. You work 5 over 7 days like I do, but I have the weekends off majority of the time, where you still work tonight. In a couple of hours, you'll be going back to work again.
That is correct. Unfortunately, so I worked from like 12:30 in the afternoon until 9 p.m. Um, so the beginning of my shift isn't too bad. You have a little bit of a rush, like people home on lunch break that are mad about their internet. And then there's kind of a lull until people come home from work and school, and then everybody's stuff is broken. So there's like a rush. I don't know. There's just there's peaks and valleys. Could be worse. Could be better. But
Did you say peaks and valleys?
I did. I did. Yeah.
Okay, I've never heard that. That's a new one on me. Peaks and valleys. I'm gonna have to remember that one. I've heard of peaks and troughs.
Oh,
But
really?
I've
See,
never
I
heard
haven't
of
heard
I've
that.
never heard of peaks and valleys.
See, Americanisms. I'm teaching you things today. It's not just the other way around. Yeah.
Fantastic.
And
Um,
hopefully everyone in the chat's not super bored. Sorry about the little
yeah,
off
we have.
topic there.
That's all right. No, we're all right. We can do whatever we want today because it's a chilled stream. And we haven't got many people here, and some of the people that we've got here, I think, are already partaking. Because the reason why I'm doing the show today is a few things, but basically it's about trying to get more people involved in the fantasy and the predictions. I know that some people are not into technology and it might be a bit too much for them to hit a link and put a code in, and would prefer the old fashioned way of doing the Friday shows. But it was just to reach out to people to say that, yeah, we got 3 comps going on at Hotel Cockerel this year, and I wanted to bring it up and show people through the process, a bit like I did on Monday, to show people through the process again to try and see if we can snare some new players. The league has now been, it was under pending moderation, but um, it's now come up as Eltel Cockerel. So the league is now called Eltel Cockerel. They've obviously agreed to what I wanted to call it and that. And I had to wait. It was like a cooling off period, and I had to wait a fair few days in order to do it. Destiny 5, I'm going to explain it all, mate. I'm going to explain it all. I'm glad you're here. I'm going to explain it all. So what we have Adrian saying good
Adrian!
afternoon, Jose and panel. Daniel Coy saying big up.
Big up, dog.
Ryan G, member who became a member yesterday, says, "Hey Jose and Cole, big up chat." And
Oh,
then he says,
shoot. Remember. Hey, hey.
I'm gonna join. I've just got the memory of a goldfish and forgot to do it." Destiny 5 is saying, "What's the code?" I will explain. You have Donna Cullen says, "Wagwan, Mr. Jose," and "Wagwan, Mr. Colin."
Wagwan, Dana.
And then Daniel Coy says, "Yeah, people not up with the technology. A certain person, maybe Ryan, yeah." And
Hey,
then
I love
Ryan's
it.
counter is, "I might be stupid sometimes, but not that stupid, Daniel, mate." So, um,
I love it. I love it.
but yeah, for those that don't know, we are doing 3 different shows. Sorry, 3 different. I've got 3 different games going on this year. One is a predict the football, which is a fantasy prediction, and we've got Peter Kagayas here, and he says it's 1:07 a.m. in Melbourne. Pete, just to let you know, uh, that I spoke to David Shear this morning. I often ring him to see how he's doing and his well-being, and also to thank him for yesterday, because yesterday he bought 30 memberships.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, and the reason he told me today, the reason why he kept going back in to buy them is because he saw Peter in the chat and he wanted Peter to have one.
That's awesome. Look at
But
that.
but
That's
then I
so
had to
cool.
explain to David today that you can only have a membership or be gifted a membership if you have set your account to accept gifts. If you haven't if you haven't set your account to accept gifts, then you'll never receive a gifted membership, regardless of people, because it doesn't do it to. You can't pick the person you're sending it to. It's all at random. But if you're not set up to receive gifts, then you won't get them. So yeah, David was telling me that he did a lot of them yesterday to try and make sure, because Peter was in the chat, he wanted Peter to get a membership.
Good
So
on
just
him. That's awfully nice.
yeah, so just
Good
letting
on.
people know that's what David told me this morning when I had a chat with him. So yeah, so first one is predict the football, which is like a predictions, but it's online. The second one that we're doing is Barclays Fantasy Football League, and where you pick a team of 15 players, get 100 minutes to spend. You can't have more than a maximum of 3 players in your team.
From like one team, 3 players in your team from one team.
So you can't have more than 3 players from any one team.
That's what I meant to say.
You start with a squad of 2 goalkeepers, 5 defenders, 5 midfielders, 3 attackers, and then you set up your team however you see fit for that week. The minimum defenders you must use is 3. The minimum midfielders you must use is 3, and the minimum strikers you must use is 1. So it's up to you how you set your teams up, and you have all the way until I was saying to people all the way till about 5 hours before the first kickoff, which is Manchester United on a Friday night. You have unlimited amount of transfers, so you can keep changing your team as often as you wish before then, right? And then the third one is the traditional predictions that we've been doing every Friday. That will continue, right? So just to help people out, I'm going to do the tutorials again. Right, so people that are with us can bear with me. Right, predict the football. Right, does that come up?
Yeah.
Okay, right. So with predict the football, right, every week. So this is self-serving. So you'll be doing it yourself, but every week you'll have the fixtures, and every week you can go in prior to the kickoff of the match, and you go in and you put your result. So let's say I'm going to say Man United 2, Fulham 0. Yeah. So you put it in, and then once you've put everything in, you hit save, right? And that locks in your predictions for the week. Yeah, it's as easy as that. The only thing with this though, and people need to understand, right, is that with this you score points, right, for an actual score. So if you got 2-0, you got the actual score, you would get 5 points for a correct scoreline, and then it gives you goals for, like, because you've got correct goals. You scored 2 goals, that's correct. Now, if this game were to finish Man United 4, Fulham 1, you wouldn't get many points for getting Man United right, and you actually probably end up getting minus points for going 2 goals too many with Man United and having 1 goal too many with Fulham. So it's a case of suck it and see, but it does this automatically for you. So you enter your results, the rest of it is done automatically. And just to show that we are real, at the moment, you have 12 people that have entered. And these are the 12 you can see in the league at the moment. So we've got 12 people that have currently entered. Yeah. So you've got Carl Simpson, Chris Peters, Colin Sievers, Dan E. You've got Graham, who's Spurs GCTV, Jamie Imber, who's also Jamie from Talking Tottenham TV. You've got Johnny Sanchez Vasco. You've got Joris, the Belgian Hotspur. Myself, Kuva99, Ronnie, and Scott M. So you've got 12 people that have already signed up to this to play already. So with that being said, all you need to do in order to go into this, let me go back to the predictions. Oops. All you need to do is, there we go. So all you need to do is, if you go to El Tel Cockerel, right? And you go to the community page, which is here. If I can share it, yep, share that one. If you go into the community page, there's the second from last stream. It's there. It says New Online Predictions League. Please follow, and it's got a link. You just press the link, and then you enter the code that's here, 561854, and that gets you into the Predictions League. Yeah, so you can set yourself up, and you have, unless you want to do it nice and early, you can do it up until a couple of hours before. You can do it up to half an hour before kickoff. Before the first game is played, even if you did it 1 minute before the kickoff, it'll accept your score for that game. You can't put scores in after the games are started. But the beauty of this is, let's say for argument's sake, you put in some scores for the week in this game, and then you realise that certain players are not playing that week.
Luke Shaw's injured,
someone's injured, or Haaland's going to be out of the team, or De Bruyne's not playing, or Saka's being rested. You can actually go back in, and as long as the game hasn't kicked off that you're referring to, you can actually change your score. Yeah, so it'll allow you to change your score. As long as the match hasn't started, you can change any prediction you wish. And that's the beauty of that game. This game only does Premier League games only. And the difference between that and the Predictions League that I run, the normal one that I do, the one I do manually, is that when you've got a international week, in that international week, you won't have to do the predictions online because they don't do them. They only do the Premiership. But when we have international weeks on the predictors that we normally do, I will do as we did last year and have bonus weeks where we do other leagues outside of the Premiership, because obviously in international weeks the Premiership don't play, and we'll pick other games, or I'll pick other games from other leagues that we can do, and we will call them the bonus weeks again, so people can make points.
Basically, so we can catch Jose, is what he's trying to say.
No, that was last season. I don't know about this season because I've got Dan. Dan's on my case already, and he's been telling people all the way along that he's got he's got everything in. So that's interesting.
He's on it, man. He's on it.
That's interesting, and it's interesting because if I'm going to share, Colin, look, I had this open from when we did it Monday, all right, and I haven't changed it. So Eltel Cockerel, can you see it?
Yep.
How many subs?
537, right?
There you go. So that was on that. I've had this up since Monday, since we did that show, because I wanted to make sure that I've got the page open and stuff like that. But that's changed, and I'm really happy. I'll let people know in a minute. But that's changed, which is really good. Yeah, so that's changed by. I did a show yesterday, which most of you came and watched, and I'm really happy that you guys came and watched it. It was thoroughly enjoying to hear what Dave Harris, the Irish Hotspur, and Ashmatic from Spurs Kings TV had to say with the 5 questions I had. Not usually quiet, but I was. I asked the questions, I let them roll with it, and the 2 hours was chewed up by them both. But it also assisted me in the sense that I grabbed myself 18 extra subscribers yesterday by doing that show. And it's the first show that I've done, me personally, on Eltel, me personally. So not one that Ash has done and stuff like that when she had the big Indian community, but it's the first one that I've done that got me 1,000 views. So I'm really happy about that. And it's got 85 likes, which for me are all like massive numbers for a little channel like mine. So
I think bigger than I've ever had. Nice work, man.
So I thanked the guys that came on the show yesterday, and I'm also thanking you guys in the chat, because without you guys, this never happens. Right, the second game that we're doing is Fantasy Football League. Right, so it's the Barclays one, and here it is now. So for the people that done, you log in to, again, you go to the homepage. Let me stop sharing. So you go to the homepage again. Let me share the homepage before I get into it. So on the community page, Airtel Cockerel, it's actually the top one that we've got. So the last one I've done, it says hello for 24-25 Fantasy Premier League. In there, you will see that I've got the link to the Fantasy Barclays Fantasy Premier League, and then there's a code underneath it. Yeah. So if you link into that, then what will happen is, once you've signed in and that, it will take you to the Fantasy Premier League site. Yeah. So it will take you here, right? And when it takes you here, it will tell you to pick a team. All right. So you go to pick a team. You have to pick 15 players, right? And it says LTL Cockroach has now accepted it. So you pick 15 players. You get 100 million. Is it 100 million to spend? Yeah. You get 100 million to spend. You can't have any more than 3 players from each team. Yeah. However, if you buy players that play for different clubs at the moment, then I don't know whether you are in restricted. So what by that I mean, say a forward, I bought Ivan Toney, and he's Brentford, and I had 3 Tottenham players in my team already. I don't know whether Toney would then count as a fourth because you bought him as a Brentford player, or whether you'd have to change your team or not. But it is what it is. So this is a team that I've got, and this is not this is no way the team that I've got for the season. This is a team that I've just selected just to get off the ground to make sure that I've got a team and I can enter it. I will try. I've tried my hardest when I picked this team. I went for the dearest players as the forwards, as you would do. Well, near enough all the dearest players. But I've got in there Watkins, Haaland, and Isak. So I've managed to stick them 3 in there. And even by having them 3 in there, I've still managed to get Foden, Fernandes, and Gordon into my team. And Mickey van der Ven. So I'm not too disturbed with them players. But anyway, you go in, you pick your team, you get 100 million to spend. On the right-hand side, if you press goalkeepers, all the goalkeepers come up. Yeah. Or you can do it by above, you've got sort, and you can do it by the price. So, and by the price, the dearest you can buy a goalkeeper for is 5.5 million. So what they've got is they've got all the goalkeepers listed from top ranking of 5.5 million, the worth going right the way down, but there's 3 pages of goalkeepers. So, you know, you can pick your team as you see and as you see fit and as you wish, right? And then once you've picked your 15 players, right, and you've picked your squad, you then go up to leagues and cups. And when you go into leagues and cups, you go into create or join new leagues and cups. And once you've gone in there, you then press join a league and cup. And once you press that, you press join an invitational league and cup. And then that's where you enter the league code. And once you enter the league code, it brings you straight into the Hotel Cockerel League. Yeah.
It took me a minute to figure it out, to be honest, but once I got it, it was all good.
Yeah. So you enter the competition by picking your team, 15 players. Once you've picked your team, then go to leagues and league cups, and then join a league, and then you enter the league code, and it takes you straight into Hotel Cockerel. Yeah.
It's that easy, folks.
So when you go in there, if I go into Hotel Cockerel, we have 16 players at the moment in there. So you've got Jose Garcia with Hotel Cockerel. You've got my wife with G'day Cobber. You've got Jose Garcia, again, this is me, from my other account because I run fantasy football, other leagues, but separately to Hotel Cockerel before I joined as Hotel Cockerel. You've got Joris Wouters, who's Belgium, who's called his team Belgium Hotspurs. You got Spurs GCTV, I believe, is Graham Clutterbuck, and he's called himself Spurs GCTV. Yeah. You've got Earn Your Spurs from Chris Peters' team. You got Graham Dunn, who has called his team 99 Problems. Jamie Imber has called his team Nothing Else Matters. Ian Greenwood, I haven't worked out who Ian Greenwood is yet, but his team is called Woody Clarets. Ronnie
Big up
Smith.
Ian.
Ronnie Smith, who we know Ronnie, he's called his team Ronski. Colin Sievers has called his team Off to Grandma.
My team's got it's a really perverted name, and I'm sorry. I could probably change it. It's pretty inappropriate, but you have to think about it a little bit.
And then you've got James Corley has got James Loves Spurs, so you'll know James is from James Loves Spurs. Carl Simpson has called his team the Quad is On FC. Scott M has called his team Happy Clapper FC. Nathan Pye, so his name is Nathan Petiers, but I know him as Nathan Pye, and I met him through Jacob's channel. He's called his team With a Packet of Sweets. And Scott Colliver has called his team Hope and Dreams. So that's how you do it. So basically, and I can see that I've got Dragons D asking me the question. If I go back out, so Dragons D, I've got 3 competitions, mate, and where you'll find it is if you go into the community page of Eltel Cockerel, like I am here, the top 2 are the leagues that I'm doing. So the top one is the Fantasy Premier League, and it's got the link and the code there. And also for the online predictions, I've got the link for predictions and the code for the Eltel Cockerel League. Yeah. Destiny, for you and Dragons D Nuts, I'm showing you where it is. It's in the community page of Eltel Cockerel. The top 2 comments that are in there. One is Fantasy Football, Fantasy Premier League, and it's got the link and the code. And then the one underneath it is for the Predictions League, which has got the link and the code for the Predictions League as well. So you've got both. So to enter, go to the Eltel Cockerel community page, enter the league. To enter the leagues, you've got both the links. One link for Fantasy Premier and one link for Premier League predictions. Yeah? So they're both there.
Boom. All set, everybody.
And when you do it, so if you're going into the other one, into the Predictions League, just to remind everyone that's watching, so you know, this is what it looks like when you've entered. Yeah, you enter your predictions as you go along, right? And like I said, these predictions you can enter before the week starts or before the game starts. And with these, unlike the game that we're going to be playing like we normally do, where I do it manually, this one online, you can actually change your predictions as long as the match hasn't kicked off. So if you get up-to-date information about a team, right, and you find out that someone's not playing because someone's unfit or someone's been dropped, and it changes your thoughts, right? It changes your thoughts on how you want, how you think the game's going to finish. You can actually change your scores. So, for instance, like I said earlier, if I went Man United 2, Fulham 0, and I wanted that as my result, that's in there now, right? But because the game hasn't kicked off yet, I can go back in and I can change this. I can make it 4-1. If for some reason I thought it was going to be 4-1, I can change it. You can just keep changing your predictions as long as the game hasn't kicked off. And this will all do it automatically. It have no input from me, no manual intervention. It does it all automatically. And what ends up happening is with this one, which is a bit more difficult on the scoring, is that your gifted membership dragon came from David Shear on yesterday's show, as did a lot of other people's as well. So with this one, what they do is they go by the results that you put in. So if you put in Man United 2, Fulham 0, and it ended up being 4-1, although you've got the correct side winning, it'll minus goals for you because you had Man United scored 2 more than what you predicted. So you score points because you got 2 goals right, but then the 2 goals wrong, and the fact that Fulham scored a goal might give you minus goal points. So it's a suck 'em and see, but it's a really good game, and it just means that I don't have to do the work on this one. Some people who played this last year in the Predictions League last year, in this one that I'm looking at online now, actually chose the same scores from here as they did in the manual game that we played last year. Yeah, they didn't change their scores at all. Their scores was exactly the same, right? So, you know, at the end of the day, it's just to make it another game. So that is in the on the community page as well, and I welcome people to join. like I said, at the moment, well, we had 12, so we've got an extra person who's joined.
Hell yeah.
And that extra person is Donna Cullen.
Donna, yes, I'm surprised you have time with all the board meetings and such.
So automatically ends up, so you've got Carl Simpson now, Chris Peters, Colin Sievers, Danny, Donna Cullen, Graham, who's Spurs GCTV, Jamie Imber from Talking to Tottenham TV, Johnny Sanchez Vasquez, Joris the Belgium Hotspur. You've got me, Kuva99, and you've got Ronnie and Scott M. So you've got 13 people who've joined. So dry roasted peanut, if you want to be involved, go into the like I was showing you, go onto the second from the community page. It's the second one down, so it's the second to last one that I've recently done, and that will take you straight into this predictions page. Yeah, and then am I sharing that? I am, aren't I?
Yeah. No, wait, not right now. Not right now. No. It's on.
It's not. Okay. Sorry. Did I stop presenting it then?
I believe so, sir.
Okay. Right. So just to show that with the Predictor League. Oops. All right. So going to predictions. Right. And it will come up. Right. So there's the predictions again. Right. For the week. But then all I've got to do is go into the league because it's already set up. And then when I go into the league, it tells me that we have 13 people in the league. And they're all there. Yeah. And then you can measure the league weekly, monthly, by the season, or by more. You can do predictions. There's a message board there, which people can put messages in. So people within the league, within our group, can actually put messages into each other, and that can be seen. Yeah.
That'll be fun.
So yeah, so you've got all that goes on there. So it's well worth doing. As I said, it doesn't stop me from doing the original one that I started doing manually. And it's quite straightforward manually. You get 3 points if you got the absolute correct score, and you get 1 point if you went the right way. But with this one, it's totally different. So yeah, I welcome and implore people to join. And I've told you all where it is. Yeah. And then equally as well. So yeah, am I now sharing my community page? No.
Nope, not yet.
Okay, right. So stop sharing that. You start sharing it again. So people, to remind you again, go to the community page. The last two posts, one is for fantasy, is the top one. So the last post I did 3 days ago is fantasy, and the one that I did 5 days ago is for the online predictions league. So both the links are both there, and both the codes are in each of the comment sections. So fantasy code is in fantasy, predictions code is in predictions. Yeah.
Easy enough.
And then going back to what I was showing, the fantasy football league again. Going to the fantasy football league, follow the code. If I was you, unless you've done this already, I would go and pick your team first. So it tells you there, use your budget of 100 million to pick a squad of 15 players from the Premier League. I would enter your league first. I would enter your squad first. And once you've entered your squad, then go into leagues and cups. It says create and join new leagues. If you click that, it says join a league and cup, and then you click it again to join Invitational League and Cup, and that's where you put the league code in. You put the code in, and it will bring you straight into LTEL Cockerell's League. Yeah, we've done a show again because I did it on Monday, and since Monday, I don't think people have bothered reading the community page, and I haven't had anyone join. So I want to make sure that I do, and I'll probably do these little tiny shows because we've got nothing more. A lot to talk about, but I will continue doing these to try and attract more people before the season starts. The reason why I'm doing these at the moment is because I'm now off work for 2 weeks. Next week I possibly may well be about, but a week after I won't be. So I need to try and drum up the support and interest of people that may want to do this.
Jose is bragging that he gets 2 weeks off.
Yeah. I'm still showing LTEL Cockerell, ain't I? The Fantasy Premier.
Yeah, Fantasy Premier League, sure.
So let me see. Let me see what we got. Right, so we have an extra player playing. Dragons D Nuts, real name Brendan Tull, has joined. So DDN, welcome on board. Do you see that, Cole? We've got another player.
Yeah, nice, dude. We're doing great. This is going to be a fun one. I'm excited. I've never done this before.
And the thing is, right, is I can click all your names, right? Does it work with mine? It works. It doesn't even work with mine. I can click all your names, and it doesn't matter what I click, right? I cannot see any of your teams. Even though I'm the moderator of the league, I can't see anybody's teams, and I won't be able to see anybody's teams, and you can't see anybody's teams until the first game kicks off. Yeah. So nobody knows who's. It'll be a surprise to everyone unless you tell each other. It will be a surprise to everyone on who is in whose teams until you actually kick off the first game of the season. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So with that, I've just got to go back to StreamYard a second because Peter Kagayas has become a member.
Peter, my man. Nice.
So thank you very much, Peter. Maybe as well, Peter, I don't know, but it's change your settings to allow gifts because like I said, when I spoke to David this morning, David said he kept doing it because you were on the show yesterday and he wanted to see whether he could get you. It's because he can't select you. He was trying to see whether he could get you to become a member. So yeah, so thank you for becoming a member. It's much appreciated. And then we've got here. We have Jesse saying afternoon, all afternoon, Jesse. I hope you're well.
Hey, Jesse.
Destiny says got it, thanks. I've got a couple of people saying afternoon to each other. Dragons D Nuts says thanks, just joined the FPL league. Join the predictions one as well. The more the merrier. I'm trying to get people. It's as if I'm railroading, but I'm trying to get people up into it as soon as possible, rather than leave it to the last minute. But the normal Friday show where I do all the manual stuff and the madness, that will still remain because that's fun, and I know that everyone, I think, enjoyed it last year. I made a promise to you. You guys have kept up that promise, and because you guys have kept up the promise, I then continue to do it. And that was that. If I could get to 500 subs, I would do it again this season. I got to the 500, so I'm true to my word, and I'm going to continue to do it this season. Dragons D says, and thank you to whoever gifted me the membership. Yeah, you were gifted the membership by David Shearer. I think I said that already, along with some other people. There was other people yesterday that were gifted by David Shearer as well. You've got Daniel Coy saying, so I guess yous are all playing for second place in the predictions league then.
Oh, shut up, Daniel. God, already.
It started already. Ronnie, afternoon, Jose and Colin. Ronnie, I'm not sure whether you were one of the ones that gifted yesterday or whether you'd come on board before. Peter Kagaya says, what a gentleman. Leo, the Mile Hotspur. Hi, Leo. I hope you're well, mate. You were definitely gifted yesterday from David Shear. I think you were one of the ones that were gifted yesterday from David Shear as well. So welcome on board to the membership. So these three competitions, and I'm going to repeat them again so people understand. Apart from that, Cole, have you been keeping up with any of the stories from Tottenham today?
Just about the young Korean guy that we signed.
Okay,
so that's pretty cool.
You've not seen the Ange Postecoglou pre-match? They do a pre-match interviews.
Yeah, I have not seen. No.
Okay, so he's got an interview and he talks in his interview. I'm trying to see if I can see some wording on it. I mean, obviously you haven't looked at the WhatsApp group because some of the comments were put in the WhatsApp group as well. I'm trying to see if I can find it. If you bear with me a second, and I'll bring it up if I can find it on here.
Yeah.
But it was interesting to see the words that he came out with and said today.
Were they like negative? I mean,
no. He was calling for calm, mate.
Nice. Exactly what we need. Cool. Good stuff.
He was calling for calm. So, let me see if I can find it. How comes I can find everything else apart from? Do you know what? Let me go back down here. Let me go back down here because I don't want to bring it up unless I can find it. Let me see this one. Find it this way. Shit, why am I coming up with Omega? That's not him. Has he spelled his name differently? I think must have. Is that him? Spell it. Let me have a look that way. No. All Star. If I call him All Star, I'm never going to get it, am I? So. His name's Alistair, and I've looked at All Star.
Alistair Gold.
And nothing's come up for him. Well, nothing's come up. I can't seem to find anything for him. What's going on?
I bet I can find it. Give me just a sec.
And whilst you're looking for it, we have had some people coming up here. So Ryan G says, yeah, he gifted like 25 people yesterday. What a guy. I think, in actual fact, I think David actually gifted 30 people. And David's just joined now. He's just woken up.
David, what's up, buddy?
David, you've just woken up. I spoke to you what seems not long ago to me. It was my morning when I spoke to you. How are you, David? I hope you're well. Destiny 5 says, I do well on my weekly hackers, so I'll be fighting for the predictions title all day long. And Ryan, you finally joined the group. Well done. Jamie Imber says, afternoon, chaps. Scott M, good morning, mate, says, there is no way that Ryan G figured out how to sign up for any of these leagues.
Everyone who's been playing so far is good, plus Ben Davis is back. He's trained well and is available. Destiny and Richie, we knew wouldn't play in this game. And they are working hard on their individual programs to get fit.
I'm talking about the transfers, mate. You talked about transfers. There's a big old stream about spiel that he did about transfers.
Yeah, so I got to transcribe it all, but in essence, he said their intended targets at the start of the window have not changed, and it's about patience as they don't want to just sign anyone else instead. I can probably find the actual quotes.
Yeah. So you got Daniel says, at the same time, it's quite clear to see the club know we're frustrated with the transfer window. Are they just telling us what we want to hear instead of actually getting it done? Well, that's why it's important to read the whole transcript rather than a small snippet. So that's what I'm telling Colin about, because Colin didn't know, and go from there. G'day, Jose Cobber and Colin in the chat. Just woke up. David, what time is it for you? Because as I said, I spoke to you this morning. And for me, because I've been on my working day and I spoke to you in between meetings this morning, I've only just finished work just now. So it seems not that long ago. If you've woken up, then have you gone to bed at all? Because I think, what's it like, 20 to midnight where you are? If it's 20 to midnight, then what are you doing waking up now? You should be in bed sleeping, my friend. You got Spurs GCTV. It just said your name, mate, just a minute ago. Say the names and they appear. Afternoon, Jose and Carl. Hope you're both well. You got people all saying hello to each other. Let me get a coffee into me. So he's going to get a coffee into himself, is what David Shear says. Ryan G says, I'm always getting roasted for my StreamYard issues now. And David says, yeah, it is 11:30. So at 11:30, David, I'm going to sleep at 11:30. So, yeah. For those that have joined just now, we while Colin looks that up, what we were trying to tell people and what we're showing people.
I can't find it, by the way.
Okay, I'll have a look in a second. Is how to join some of the competitions we've got. So the easiest way to do it is go to the LTL Cockerel community page. So just go to LTL Cockerel, press community. It brings up the page. The last two published comments. One was 3 days ago. It's about the Fantasy Premier. It's got the link there, and it's got the league code. So press the link, and then the league code, and it takes you into the league. And then the second from last, I did it 5 days ago, was a new online predictions league. For that, again, you got the link that you go to, and then there's a code that you enter, and you can enter the predictions league. For those people wanting to play the fantasy football, the easiest way to do it, and I'm trying to help people that may not have played this before, but the easiest way to do this is you go into the fantasy, you press the link, you go in, and once you're in, you pick your teams. The first thing you do, you go in and pick your team. Your team has to be 15 players, right? £100 million to spend on 15 players. You can't have more than 3 players from each team. And once you've done that, and you've picked your squad, then you go into leagues and cups. And then when you go into leagues and cups, you press create and join new leagues and cups, and then press join a league cup, and then join an invitational league cup, and that will take you to where you put your code in. Put your code in, and it brings you straight into the league. Yeah.
That easy. It took
Yeah.
me about 5 minutes to figure it out.
And then leagues and cups. Now it's called Eltel Cockerel the League because it was being moderated. Now that we're in, this is the league. This is the league. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. We have 17 players. 17 players playing in the Fantasy Premier League. So yeah, so that's where we are at the moment. We've got 17. The reason why I'm doing this show is to try and help those. No, Leo, no, I'm doing 3 competitions this year. This is the Fantasy Football League that I'm doing, right? So you've got that. That's the Fantasy Football League and how to get into it. And I'm just showing you how you pick your teams, right? But they both the competitions, as I keep saying, are on the community page. So if you go to the community page for Hotel Cockerel, the top one tells you how to get into Fantasy Premier, and it's got the code. And then 5 days ago, I posted the online predictions league. So it's called Premier League Predictions, right? And that one is online, right? And that one is as easy as, and I'll show you guys as well. So the Predictions League is an easy one that all you do is you set it up with your email address, and then you go into your predictions. All right, sorry, let me just come out of that one. Right, so you go into predictions online, you click LTEL because it will take you to the LTEL mini league. You go in online and you enter your predictions online. Yeah. With this one, and I'll do the Man United one again. If I went for Man United to Fulham 0, like it is there, the beauty of this is that with the online one, as long as the game hasn't kicked off, yeah, as long as the match hasn't kicked off, you are able to change your predictions. So if you felt that Man United, I don't know, between now and the start of the game, they've got a really good team and a stronger team than what you anticipated, and Fulham have got a weaker team, you can actually go in and change that prediction. So I can change it from 2-0 because that's the prediction I put in there. But because the game hasn't kicked off yet, I'm going to change it to 5-1, right? Because Man United have now got an absolutely fantastic, amazing team. Fulham are carrying injuries, so now I've changed my prediction to 5-1. The only thing with this predictions league online now is that if you get the absolute score, you get 5 points and you get goal difference, right? Because you've got the right amount of goals scored. But if you went for a 2-0 victory and Man United were to win 4-1, you'd get points for the first 2 goals, but then it starts deducting you points because you said they'd get 4 and they only scored 2. So it's about being clever with what you're putting in there. But the saving grace of this one is I don't have to do any of the work. This can be done as a side one, and it can be done at any time at your own leisure. You don't have to watch a show at 4 o'clock on a Friday to do this. But I'd prefer people to do all 3. And when we look at it, so at the moment, the league there shows 13 people. So 13 people have entered the Predictions League already in the LTEL League. And today we've had 1 extra that's entered because I had 12 before the show started. I now have 13. So yeah, so go in, join in, and it's there. But by the same token, I will say, by the same token, I'm still going to continue doing the manual one that I did last year. But with that one, you have to watch the shows on a Friday to do it. And if you don't watch it on the Friday, when the show's on a Friday to do it, and you don't put it on the stream at the end of the show and whatever like that, I'm not chasing people, and I won't be doing it through WhatsApp groups anymore because it's just too much work. And it's a case of chasing, and I end up chasing the majority of people on that. So these are just giving you indications that we're doing 3 different games like next year. You have who's come in? Who's come in?
Who's here?
We have Rob Belcher.
Rob, what's up, buddy?
It's been a while, Rob. I hope you are well. I hope you're enjoying whatever kind of summer we're having, mate. I hope you and your family are well, and I hope you're all good and healthy and enjoying life as much as possible. Rob Belcher says, thanks for the info and predictions, etc. I'm in the process of joining now. Destiny's asking how many time zones does Australia have? I'm not sure. Peter says that good game between France and Colombia. Is this the ladies' football that you're talking about? I think it must be. Cockney Johnny Vasco says, afternoon, geezers. Good afternoon,
Yo!
Cockney Johnny Vasco.
What up, big dog?
I think I'm signed up for both, Jose. Not that I'm any good at fantasy football. I keep forgetting to change the team during injuries, etc. Leo says it's gone from predictions to fantasy football now. No, I've got 3 different competitions running this year. 2 of them are on the predictions page, like I've explained, and I will still do the normal one, the manual mad one that we do on a Friday. But I'm just doing 3 of them this year. So instead of 1, I'm doing 3. Jamie says, I'm struggling to pick a team this year. At the moment, my team's rated 85. My team's rated 85 100. I'm trying to get 95 rated. I don't know how you rate your teams because I didn't know you could rate your teams. So that's an interesting one, Jamie. I don't know how you can rate your teams. You've got Chris Agenbar here saying big up Jose and Colin.
Whoa, what's up, Chris?
Hi, Chris. How are, mate? I hope you're well. Carl Simpson says, I am taking the treble this year, guys.
Get out of here.
You got fighting talk from Carl. Fighting talk from Carl.
I will beat you up, Carl.
Leo says, what a busy guy, Jose. I'll stay in the predictions. All 3. I'm all happy if you do all 3. We've got people saying hello to each other. Daniel Quest says that Fulham signed Andre, though. Good signing for Fulham, that is. Don't know who Andre is, but I'll take it.
Andre Onana?
For Fulham, no. Andre Onana went to Villa.
Oh, okay. Well,
this guy's called Andre. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I know you're joking, but there we go. Squaven says, still good to put them in the comments after the show, or you want them live on the stream. Right, live on the stream preferably, or if need be, then it can also be after the show in the comments. I'm happy with that, Scott. That's fine. As long as it's to do with the show and I don't have to keep chasing people, because that was the hardest part last year, was having to chase everyone on it. And, you know, at the end of the day, we did well. We ended up with 109 people playing. But if I only end up with 30 people playing, to me, it's a success. As long as all 30 are getting involved and I don't have to be doing any chasing, then I'm quite happy to do so. My blood, Colin, is what Cockney Johnny Vasco's saying to you.
Yeah, what's up, bro?
Nita is saying, hi, Jose and Colin. Hope you're both well. Not sure which one to do. F or P, just depends which way the wind blows me. Do all 3, Nita. This is my call out to people to try and get people involved in all 3. At the end of the day, 3 bites at the cherry. 3 bites of the cherry. Do all 3. What did I miss? What's that? What's the middle bit? Oh, I don't know. I don't know what the middle bit means. But so in today, right? So Postacoglu has made comments about the transfer. You were saying some, but there was a big old transcript, and I want to see if I can find the transcript. So if you bear with me,
please, if you can, that'd be great.
Yeah, I'm going to look for it now.
I could sing a song. I could sing a song to keep everybody entertained.
Sing a song of sixpence. That's what we said.
I could. Yeah, I could. If you'd like. No, no one would like that. Okay.
I'm sure it was Alistair Gold that did this. Should I be looking for Alistair Gold or Football London?
Probably Football London, because Alistair Gold would pop up then either way if he, you know what I mean, since that's where he works.
Football.London. Right, here we go. Right, here we go. Here we go. Right, we'll do this for the chat then. Right, you ready?
Get it? Yes, sir.
Right, here's every word. So, Ange was asked, right? Oh shit! How do you get rid of this shit? Right, Ange was asked. First question: what's it like to be in Japan? He said, "It's good to be here. We had a good few days training. The boys are working hard. The conditions have been testing for them, but they had a real good block of training, and we looking forward to the game. Looking forward to the stadium. It's a new stadium. Expecting a big crowd tomorrow. Vissel Kobe are a top team, and it should be good. Looking forward to it." Question: last season was a good one for the team, but for the future development and constant evolution, what do you want to achieve this season? Yes, it's about exactly that, constant evolution and improvement. We had a decent season where we certainly laid down some good foundations with the way we want to play and the squad we have. Obviously, we want to be better this year, and that's the goal. Then he was asked, where are you looking when you're looking at pre-training during pre-season? What details are you looking for? Nothing is really different from home, to be honest. It's just about constant improvement in our football. Obviously, when you're away from home, your environment and training conditions are different, and it's all about adaptation to that and not allowing it to affect our training levels and exposing the guys to different things. The boys are improving all the time, and this time of the year, it's about making sure we don't miss a day or an opportunity to get ready for the start of the season, because you know that once the season starts, especially with us being back in Europe, there'll be a heavy games program. For us as coaches, this time of the year is really valuable. So the last thing you want to do is come into a different environment and change your approach because of something not familiar to us. The first day we got here, literally off the flight, we had a double session and pushed the boys hard, and they were excellent. And they've really embraced the challenge of it. It's so. The next question was: it feels the team has put a lot of emphasis on this tour, and it seems like you're not just simply the manager of the team, but leading the entire tour.
Hell yes.
He said it's very important. Obviously, for us, the priority is preparing for the season, and that's why we're here. We've got good training facilities, we've got good matches, but I think every time we go to another country, it's an opportunity for us to acknowledge the support we have from this side of the world. We have 3 supporter branches here in Japan, and hopefully we want to grow that to more. A lot of people over this side of the world don't get to see us live, so I think it's important that wherever we go, we make an impact beyond the football and any chance as we get as a football club. Not just with me, but with the representatives of the club, it is to get into the community and try and have a presence as much as we can. For us, it's important that Tottenham as a football club keeps growing globally, and we've already got strong support from this side of the world. And firstly, we need to acknowledge it, and secondly, we need to keep growing it. Is everyone fit and available for tomorrow's game? Yeah, the guys who kind of participated in the game so far, plus Ben Davis, has trained this week. So out of the travelling party, I think it's just Richie and Destiny who aren't quite ready to play, but everyone else is fit. Right.
That's encouraging.
Right. The fans are in a frenzy at this time of the transfer window. Are the club close to any new signings to help you for the new season? He said, as you say, at this time of the year, it's pretty hard for supporters because they don't have all the information. And it's fair to say there's plenty of misinformation out there. We're working hard to bring players in, and it's a process that you sometimes have to be patient with. But in terms of what we set out to do, that's still the plan, and you have to stay disciplined with that. Sometimes the timings don't work out, and it doesn't happen as quickly as you want, and you don't get them in at the right time. But I think it's really important you stay disciplined and not run off and chase other things. So what we started with at the start of the summer are still there, and I wouldn't want to put timelines on it. A lot of that is out of our control, and we just need to be patient. From where I sit at the moment, we're still in a phase where what we identified is still what we're after.
Hell yeah.
When you were here in Japan, you changed the way of football. You would change the way football penetrated the country. I'm sure you've brushed up on that and embedded it in at Tottenham. What do you want to demonstrate in tomorrow's match? I think it's fair to say, from my perspective, nothing has changed in my beliefs about how the team plays. Obviously, we're trying to do it in the most difficult league in the world, the most challenging league. It's got the best managers and the best players and is very competitive. But I still believe that we can make an impact playing this type of football, the same way I did when I came to Japan. Yokohama was similar in the club, in that they were a big club and hadn't won anything for 14 or 15 years before I came here. And Tottenham are in a similar boat, and you understand the significance of winning something for the club that hasn't won something for a while. But just as important to me is the way to do it and the football we play, and that's what we're trying to build here. Hopefully, with a bit of luck, we'll repeat that success.
Boom. This has been about the most positive Spurs related news I've heard in a long time.
Do you have any Japanese players in mind that you might want to bring to Tottenham? If you can't name them, just say yes or no will be enough. His words were, good try. We're constantly looking. Everyone knows me. I spent close to 4 years here in Japan. I love my time here, and I really think the J League is a competition that ranks with, apart from maybe the big 5 or 6 leagues in Europe. I believe it ranks in equal quality with other leagues. I really believe that Japan has produced some world-class players who are already making their mark on the Premier League. We've seen Matoma go to Brighton and the Premier League and do fantastically well. I took 3 or 4, maybe more, players to Celtic, and they're all making an impact. We're constantly looking everywhere. I guess my experience here showed me that you can find quality footballers and footballers who will fit into the style that we want to play from anywhere, and we're constantly looking. So yes, the answer is not yes and not no. There are many stories of Spurs being linked with Yang Min Yuk. Son is also from Korea. Can you share about the status of that transfer and why you want him? Yes, again, I'm well aware of the quality of the K League. When I was at Celtic, we were looking to bring over at least a couple of Korean players at the time, and I think they've brought a couple over. Again, we've made fantastic impact. Again, they've made a fantastic impact in Europe. A lot of Korean players, none bigger and none better than our own Sonny. He's just an outstanding player and an outstanding person. He's the captain of our club, and he's just outstanding individual. We're super happy to have him at our football club. So yes, we'll be looking far and wide for players. And as you rightly said, it is difficult for me to discuss. He then grinned. They are the comments that were made in today's interview with.
Wow, that was just today. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it was today with. It was him and Madison that did the presser for
Mads, good old Mads.
Yeah, it was him and Madison that did the presser today.
That's awesome. Cool. I like what I've heard. I mean, obviously, it's all good stuff. What do you think? I mean, you're as happy as me, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I am. Rob Belcher has joined the LTL Cockerel Predictions League.
Hey,
I'm
Rob,
just looking in the back, and I can see that he's come in. So that's good. We've got him. I'm trying to see if we've got any more new ones. No more new ones in the fantasy at the moment. What did I think? At the end of the day, what he's basically said, right, is that he's saying in a nutshell that the players that they identified, that he wanted or whatever, or that's been identified, are still the ones that they're going for. It's just that other things are holding stuff up, is what he's saying. That's all he's saying in that. But that he's still positive that they still go for them, and it probably has taken a bit longer than what he wanted, but it was still it's still going ahead. That's basically, in a nutshell, what he said. On the transfers. So, at the end of the day, do we really know? And I mean, I asked Dave and Ashmatic on the show yesterday. Do we really know who the three that we're going for, or who we're going for, actually is? We don't, do we really? Because today I heard on Shitter and other places, I'm hearing that the three players that Tottenham are going for are Chiesa, Tony, and Neto. And
Okay, I'd be happy.
all I say to people is, if you went to bed and you knew that them three were going to be your front three, are you going to bed happy?
Yes.
That's all I'm going to say. Do you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, whatever we bring in is going to be an improvement. All right, that's all I'm going to say to people. Whatever we bring in will be an improvement, and it will be players that we hope will excite and be the real Tottenham, excite you, get your bums off your seats, and get you wanting to watch football. Do we need any more than three players? Arguably, yes, we possibly do. But is three a start? Yes, it is.
Yeah, no,
And
I agree completely. I like it.
And have you seen the young boy that they've signed, Tottenham?
I just was watching a compilation video here
Have
on
you?
my
Oh,
other
so,
monitor.
so you've not seen the goal that he scored live today?
No, I have not.
Okay, right. I'm trying to find it. It's on. It must be on
Beautiful
Citizen.
goal, huh?
It's slightly a good goal, yeah.
I
So
can't tell if you.
this was on live. Sorry, this game was on earlier. Trying to see if I can find it. But it was doing the rounds earlier. I'm trying to see if I can find it. Or do I have to go to YouTube to find it? I thought it was on Twitter. Right, this is a compilation. All right, it's not the compilation I'm looking for. I don't know whether I'm going to be able to find it, but there was definitely a goal there. It was someone posted it earlier. Anyway, he gets the ball. He gets the ball on the edge of the area on the right hand side, and he just unleashes a shot. You've got two defenders closing him down. He unleashes a shot, and it hits the post, and it hits the postage stamp. It goes into the top corner,
Beautiful goal.
and no one could have saved it. No one could have saved it. It was
I
an
love
absolute.
it.
You can't save the goal he scored. You can't save it. It's just, yeah. The goalkeeper's going to get nowhere near it. It doesn't matter who you got your goalkeeper. You're not getting nowhere near it. And I'm trying to bloody find it, and I can't find it. But it was an excellent goal that he scored. And and I'm looking, and I'm going down, and I can't see it anywhere. I don't know whether it's going to be somewhere else, but on the WhatsApp groups and that, they were being put out there. Someone sent the highlights, and yeah, it was an absolutely brilliant goal.
Sounds like it.
But I can't see it. I can't see it. I can see everything else, but I can't see that goal.
Darn it.
Right, is that it? Right, they're saying he's hungry for a brace. Let me see if this guy's showing it. Because he seems to be showing the rest of it. And yuck. Is this the goal? No. Okay, right, I got it. Found it. Right, you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Right, this is all in the game today, right? Let me see. Right, I have to go back to press this one to start again. Right, now I've got to find out I can get back into the screen. Right, there we go. Go to LTEL Cockroach, go to StreamYard. I'm going to show it to everyone now. Right, present, share screen. Joel, Kim T. Right. Is it gone into big screen yet?
Yeah. It looks great.
Okay. Right, you ready?
Yep, let's do it.
There's receivable now, look.
Oh, near post. You didn't tell me it was near post. I love me a near post goal. That was beautiful stuff, man.
The goalkeeper ain't saving it.
No, never. And like I said, I just love a good near post goal too.
So he wears a 47 shirt like Foden.
Interesting. I wonder if that's why.
Well, I just think it's a shirt that he wears for Guangdong FC. So.
But I wonder if he's copying Foden.
Here we go. Watch. There we go.
Ooh, filthy.
You don't save them.
No, you don't.
Yeah, you don't save them at all. Yeah, you're quite right, Jamie. I'm going to come to that. You got an assist as well today. Right, hold on. Let me see where his assist is. Right, here we go. There he is. Puts the through ball through to the player. So he got the assist as well.
Jesus, man. That was a sick through ball too. Slick. Near post goals, man. Can't get enough of them.
There he is. Picked the ball up. Pass it on. So, yeah, so there's a player there in him, isn't there? So he's only young. Let's see what happens when he comes over. Just come out of this now, because otherwise I'm going to be playing this guy's stuff all day long. So, there you go, people. There you go. And Mr. Shit has gone mad again. I've just seen what he's just done whilst I've been... So Mr. Shear has gifted out 5 more memberships.
Jeez, David, nice, man. We appreciate you, buddy.
And they've gone out to Jishnu Raju, who
Jishnu,
I know
my man.
Jishnu's in the chat.
Oh, what's up, Jishnu?
Yeah,
hope you're good, buddy.
It's gone out to Swim Master, Tom81, Brandon Doan, and Cy Dancer, THFC 83. Yeah, I'm sure I saw that one of them was in the chat. Can I say, David, earlier on, just to show you on screen, Peter became a YouTube member earlier. I explained to Peter our conversation that we had. For me, it was this morning. So it must have been, I had a conversation with you about 7.5 hours ago. I know we was on the phone for about an hour, but you said to me that you tried to do the memberships yesterday because you're trying to see if you could get Peter one. So I did explain this to Peter earlier, but thank you very much for your generosity again. I know you don't like being thanked, and you told me this on the phone and that, sometimes you got to take the compliments, and so I hope you take the compliment that I'm giving you, my friend. You got Nita saying hi all in the chat. Then you got Ange wasn't happy. And Ange wasn't a happy chappy. Is that in the interview today? Nita says, hi, David S. How you doing? Cobber, hope you're well. So Nita saying hello to David. Chris Agenbar says, Colin, sing James Madison.
My team has got James Madison. James Madison is what we need. Oh, that's the best you'll get today.
We need that back. We need to
We
have
do.
that back. You need to do something. You need to get that back. We need to get something back in there so we can have a bit more of James Madison because
We
people
do. We do miss
loved
him.
all
Yeah.
that. So we need to get that back.
I think I could help with that.
Good. Yeah. See if we can get it back. It'd be brilliant. But for both yours and for my channel, get them for both. So
Yeah.
it's something that people love, and it is yours because it's your voice. Um,
Well,
Alistair Gold
it's a cover, but yeah.
Alistair Gold, Peter says Alistair Gold on Japan interview asked Ange about incomings. Yeah, I've just read all the stuff out. Nita also says the transfer circus talk about making you dizzy. Too old for all that. Seeing is believing. Come on, you Spurs. Jamie Wooten is here saying, "Hey up, lad. Hey up, Jamie." And I know you've put a further comment about Rotherham, and I just missed, and I just saw it. He's saying that he'll be at Rotherham away tomorrow with the Blades.
Oh, nice,
Fantastic.
man.
Destiny 5 says we should have targets, not looking around. I think we have got the targets, is what we're saying. We have got the targets. They are the same targets that they identified, is what he's saying. It's just that they haven't got them in yet, but they have got the same targets. And the same targets they've got are available, but we're waiting for other things to move before we can actually take them. Daniel says, let's be real, the level of competition he would have had to win the title in Yokohama cannot be compared to the Premier League competition and how hard it is to win. But what you've got to look at, Daniel, it's only relative to the league that he's in. So when he took over Yokohama, they hadn't won anything for 14 or 15 years. So he's won the league relative to he was playing. So obviously, when you take on a team at Yokohama, they're going to have different expectations. They're going to have different funding sources. They're going to have, they may their budgets are going to be totally different. So you've got to play within what you get, and he did that, and he won the title. Everywhere he's gone, he's won things, but he's had to play. And he's had to adapt to the leagues he's gone to and within the budgets that have been set by those particular teams in those particular leagues, and he's succeeded everywhere else. I'm hoping, like we all are as true Tottenham fans, we're hoping that we win some form of silverware with him at Tottenham. That's what we can all hope. All this biting one way or biting another way, we should just all our thoughts should be united on getting silverware. That's what we all want, everybody. And if anyone doesn't want silverware with Tottenham, then just make it known that you don't want any silverware. I want silverware with Tottenham. Nita says, in football, money goes to money. Japan is well in the money, never been there, but read a lot about other countries. David Shear says, yeah, don't forget the likes. Yeah, don't forget the likes. Scott says, always unlucky Spurs that other clubs hold up our moves, but never do it for our rivals. Graham says, Jose, there are a number of reasons deals are held up. Selling club waiting on signing replacements, probably the biggest. If it's the players that we're looking to get, right? Okay, so I'm going to say, for instance, Juventus. If we are going for Chiesa, I'm not saying that we are, but if we are going for Chiesa, they are looking to bring someone in at Juventus at the moment for that position, and they're not letting Chiesa go until they get a player in that position. So that's factual. They are looking for someone in that position, and it's known out there that they are. With Brentford, I will say Brentford have brought in Thiago as a centre forward because they knew Tony was going to be going. But the rumour is now that Thiago has now got injured. He's had a meniscus injury. He's got a meniscus injury. She's going to be out for some time. They don't know how long yet. And Brentford are in catch 22 at the moment because they brought a player in to replace Tony, who's now got injured. But in my eyes, although I've heard that, in my eyes, they also got Sade, and Sade plays as a number 9 as well. The German, I think he's German, Sade, they bought. They bought him a season or two ago, and he plays in that position as well. So, for me, that may not hold up any deal because he said that he's not signing a new deal with Brentford. But yeah, I understand. I'm not the person that needs convincing, Graham. I understand how things work. And I understand that some teams don't let players go until they've brought somebody in. And, at the end of the day, if that's the case, then we're going to have to live and bear with it. Ryan says, if Spurs get those 3, then it's a big improvement. Jamie says, I saw a rumour that Spurs have offered Reguilon plus cash for Chiesa. Was it Chiesa they've offered the player plus cash for?
I'll take that deal.
Or was it someone else that I read? But anyway, there's loads of stuff in circulation at the moment. It's just whether you choose to believe it or not. David, of course, says, I'm not having 2 players who have had big injury problems in recent years. It's either one of Neto or Chiesa, not both. That's mad by Tottenham if they go for both. I'm just saying, Daniel, by the links that we've got at the moment are heavy links with these 3 players. I'm saying that I could go to bed comfortably to sleep at night if I had these 3 players in my front line. That's what I'm saying. As opposed to thinking, oh my God, I've got Solomon playing there, or we got Decky playing out the right, and we've got Richarlison playing in the middle, or Son playing on the left, and I've got Werner playing down the middle, Johnson playing on the right. At the end of the day, if I've got 3 other players and I can think of 3 other players that I've just mentioned, or any permutation of 3 there, I just go to sleep a bit more comfortable. That's what I'm saying, because it would be an improvement on the forward line that we currently have. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying we're going to get them or not. I'm just, that's the way that I'm looking at. Raji says, yeah, to be fair, Daniel, going for both would be a bit crazy with their injury records. One plays left and one plays right. So at the end of the day, it depends how many irons you got in the fire and which ones you're going to pull out of the fire, doesn't it? Jishnu Raju says, bring in Zubamendi. He's a good player. Zubamendi, a very good player. Nita says, when I was a student in my 20s, we had an exchange students come over from Japan. Ha ho, the only place they wanted to shop was Harrods. My eyes were popping. Scott says, the lack of links to a 6, whatever that means in our system, is really concerning. Ryan says, I think you'll get Chiesa over Neto. You'll only pay 20 million for Chiesa, whereas it will be around 50 or 60 for Neto. I think with Neto, his price will drop, has to drop, because I don't think people are paying 60 million for a player. I don't think anyone's going to pay 60 million for a player. The thing about both their injury records is that with regards Chiesa actually played 31 games last season. So Chiesa appears to have got over his injury. It may have taken a few years, but he seems to have got over it because he played 31 games last year in the league. Played 31 games, scored 9 goals, got 2 assists. And that was last year. So he's always had... So last year he's had a run of games, which you'd kind of think that he's seen the back of his injury, or you'd like to think so. When Neto has had several different injuries, I believe. I mean, Ryan, you support Wolves, you may know this better than me, but it looks like that he's had a major or a big injury every season for probably the last 2 to 3 seasons. And I think that's where the difference is. And so therefore, I don't know whether people are going to pay 60 million for someone who's injury prone, i.e. every season. And, at the end of the day, I'm not the one that's looking at the deal, but I'm not sure whether 60 million would be well spent. You have Nita saying, how old is he? I don't know who you're asking about, which one.
I think it's the Korean guy.
Oh, the Korean guy. The Korean guy is 18 years old, Nita. He's 18 years old. Swim Master's come into the show because he got the gifted membership. It says, thank you, David Shear. Most appreciated. Swim Master, nice to have you here, sir. Ryan G says, yeah, that's what I hope we do, Scott, mate. We've got loads of other players we can sell. Also, Pedence, Graders, Silver, etc. So we don't really need to sell. David Shear says, always, Jose, really enjoy the channel, my friends. Thank you very much. Rob Belcher says, you're a legend, Mr. Shear. Ryan G says he misses that song. Jishnu saying, is that really Colin's voice? Colin, show him it's your voice, son.
It was me. I'm embarrassed to sing again, but it was really...
sing it again. Let's have an encore.
My team has got James Madison. James Madison is what we need. Whoa. That's it. That's it for the encore.
There you go. Look at that. We've got our own very own rock star Colin Sievers on the JM song. And the thing is, it's got to be him because on tap he just does it straight away.
Sure.
So, Scott M says, yep, no Pep, Emery, Howe, etc. in the J League. Dragon D's Nuts said it will be Jonathan David instead of Neto. Nita says, question: Is Olmo is the transfer market or is it just a rumor? Apparently, Manchester City are looking at Danny Olmo and are looking to drop 50 on Olmo. So that's the latest. The people are saying that Olmo, Man City are ready to drop 50 on Olmo. And the thing is, with Man City, Olmo goes anywhere, you have to pay whatever it is. It may still be the same if he goes to Man City. But Man City seem to have a way with, I don't know how they do it, but they seem to, unless they're doing an advertised deal and some in the background, I don't know how they do it. Because they have got players in for a lot cheaper than what I expected. So I don't know how they did the Haaland deal, but he came in for a real cheap price.
They
So
thought they could do Kane like that too.
who?
They thought they could get away with doing that for Kane. Their offer for Kane was abysmal.
But they actually bought Haaland in. I didn't get
Uh,
Kane, but they bought Haaland in. But what I'm saying is that the prices that they pay for some of their players, I'm just like, how did you pay just that much and get him? So I'm not sure whether there's a payment that's advertised and there's a separate payment behind somewhere which you don't get to see because, yeah, it's just unbelievable some of the dealings that they've done. Simon Cowell would approve, Colin. Do you know who Simon Cowell is?
I do. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
And then Dragons D says, what does Dragons D says? No, Dragons D says, well, there it is. There it is. Does John Bon Jovi live with Colin?
He does. Yeah, that's why the camera's off. I don't want anyone to see that he's here.
And then Nita's saying that 60 mil is cheap these days for a footballer, so it seems. Could well be. It could well be a cheap price. Who knows? You know, at the end of the day, it could well be a cheap price. Yeah, but that's the news that we've got today. As I said, the majority of this show was to try and get people on board to doing the predictions, and yeah, to do the predictions league. And again, I'm going to have to repeat this because otherwise it won't get through. So, people, we're doing 3 competitions this year. If you would like to enter the 3 competitions, the competitions, 2 of them are basically on the community page of LTL Cockerel. So if you go to LTL Cockerel, the last 2 postings, one was 3 days ago and one was 5 days ago. The one 5 days ago is for the Premier League prediction, predict the football. So you predict the scores in the Premier League, and there's a code. So there's a link to join the league, and then there's a code, and that gets you into the LTL Cockerel League. And then 3 days ago, I put in the fantasy Premier League link. So it's the Barclays Fantasy Premier Football League. The link's there and the code is there. And what you then do is, as I'll explain again, is if you go into the Predict the Football. So you go into the Predict the Football and you press the league and it will come up with the league that you've entered, which would LTEL. Then you have a screen on a weekly basis that will look like this, and it will have all the games that are being played that week. And then what you do is you insert your result, your scores for the week. So therefore you won't have me chasing you. You can do this at your own leisure. The luxury with this is as long as the match hasn't kicked off, you can change your prediction up until the point that there's a kickoff. As soon as the ball gets kicked, you cannot enter the prediction anymore. So, if for argument's sake we were going Man United 2, Fulham 0, right? I've entered it. There's my prediction. I've entered it. Down here, you hit save, right? I've entered my prediction, and we get news that Fulham have got, I don't know, they've lost Pereira, they've lost their Brazilian striker that they've got. Let's say that they've got Anthony Robertson out injured, and they've also lost their centre back. You might think to yourself, "Oh my God, Fulham have got so many injuries." And now that I know this, I want to change my score. Well, you have the luxury of changing your score because you just go back into it, hover above it, and because the game hasn't kicked off yet, I can then change that score, which I've done now, to 4-1. So I've now made it 4-1. But with this game, what happens is that this will give you 5 points, I believe, for a correct prediction. So if you said 4-1 and it became 4-1, you would score 5 points for the prediction. But then there's further points for the goals that scored that you predicted correctly. Now, if you undersell or oversell goals, you end up losing some points as well. So if you've gone for 2-0 and the score was 4-1, you get your points for the first 2 goals that Man United scored, but then you start losing points for the 3rd goal and the 4th goal because you predicted too many goals, right? But anyway, it works out as the season goes along. You'll see it. So that's what you can do on a weekly basis, and it's at your own leisure. I won't be chasing you for it. I won't chase you for it at all. You can just enter it. So Nita, it's not. All you're doing is you're entering results. Look, I'm entering results now as you're watching. There we go. I'm entering the results. It's just easy. You just put in the result you think it's going to be. And that's how easy it is. Look, just entering the results that you think it might be. Go for that one. Down here, Tottenham are playing not till the Monday. Oopsie daisy. There we go. There we go. So there you go. How long does that take me? There you go. I've ended up.
2 minutes.
I've ended up. There we go. I've ended up entering all the predictions. Now there are some people. There are some people that last year played in our traditional predictions that we do on a Friday, because we will still do that as well, Nita. So just to let everyone know, these are 2 online competitions that we're doing, but I'll still do the weekly one, right? But there are some people that do this, and all they do is they mirror the results they've put into this into the predictions that I was doing as well. So, and then once you've done that, you enter it, and you don't have to go back to it again. And we currently have 14 people that I can see on screen. We currently have 14 people in the league so far, and they're all regulars of the show. So everyone there is a regular of the show. So the people that should be entering should only be people that watch the show, so to speak. Yeah. And then the other one, and Nita's going to love me for this because Nita's already made some comments, right? The other one is obviously fantasy football. And with the fantasy football, as I keep saying to people, what you need to do is you need to go into the link. And first of all, go into the link, pick your team. Your team will consist of 15 players. You get 100 million to spend, and you get 15 players. You have to select 2 goalkeepers, 5 defenders, 5 midfielders, 3 attackers. And once you've picked your team and you've got your team in 15 players, then you manage your team as you see fit. So, i.e., this is my 15 players altogether, but what I've done is it says pick a team. And picking a team, I've got a 3-4-3 at the moment there, and then I've got substitutes down the bottom. If I wanted to overload my defense, then all I do is I put in a defender, but I'll have to take out a midfielder, because you must play with a minimum of 3 defenders. You must play with a minimum of 3 midfielders. I can add another midfielder if I so wished, but then I'd have to drop a forward. Yeah. If I wanted to drop another forward, I can add another defender in. So you're picking your squad, and from your squad you pick the team that you want to have. So the maximum defenders you can have is 5. The maximum midfielders you can have is 5. So I could play with a 3-5-1. So I could take out a defender here in Euro, so to speak, and I could take out another defender. No, I can't. Yeah, there it is. So you've got 4-5-1 now. So it's up to you how you pick your team. But once you've picked your team and you've got your 15 players, if you go to leagues and cups and you press create, join a new league, and then press join a league cup, and then press join an invitational league, you enter your league code there, and you will come to El Tel Cockerel League. And then as it stands in that league at the moment, we currently have Adrian Cheer has now joined. Look,
Oh yeah,
because you've got Adrian Cheer's team is called Anja Manager.
I love it.
So you've got it's Cheer. So that's it's 18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. It's 18 teams. So people are now joining, and that's what I wanted. This the whole idea of doing an extra show is to do these extra shows is to try and build up more people to come and join this league or these leagues So there you go. So you've got 3 competitions this year. You've got online fantasy predict the Premiership. You've got online fantasy Premier League, and they can both be found on the community page. They're the last 2 posts that I've put up there. And obviously the third one will be my usual predictions league that I do manually, and that'll be a show every Friday where we predict for the weekend. And we'll carry on doing that. And with that one is correct score scores you 3 points, correct team winning gets you 1 point, and so on. And we do it that way. So there's 3 competitions. Ryan G says 45 million back in the day would get you Zidane. Now it gets you Brennan Johnson. Nita says the last time she did fantasy league was 2 seasons ago. Well, you're more than welcome to do it again, Nita.
We'd love to
Swim
have
Master.
you.
Swim Master says, question. I still remember Trevor Francis, the first £1 million player. Can't remember the year though. Trivia question. What year was it? And what's the price in today's money for perspective? Right. I don't know what it would be prospectively now, price wise, but I would say, who was it? Trevor Francis. I'd say Trevor Francis probably went for £1 million. Is it when Forrest bought him or when Forrest sold him that he went for £1 million? Is it when Forrest bought him or is it when Forrest sold him? Or is it, did they buy him from Birmingham for £1 million? I'm going to say, and I know I'm going to be wrong, I'm going to say 1979. That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say 1979, but I might be wrong. And now, Colin, can you look it up?
Yeah.
What year was Trevor Francis sold from Birmingham to Nottingham Forest, and for how much?
$1979.
There we go. So I was spot on.
Yep, for $1 million.
And today's.
Hey Jose, I'm getting a message from the wife that I need to go and eat lunch.
Okay, go and eat lunch then. Yeah, that's fine.
So I will speak with you soon, my man, and everyone in the chat. Thanks for joining in, everybody. Appreciate you guys, and speak with everybody soon.
Cheers, Colin, and say hello to Beth for me, please.
Will do.
And I'll see you tomorrow for the watch along.
Nice and early. Yep, we'll talk about that a bit later.
Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow for the watch along. Okay, cool.
See you, boss.
Thank you. See you later. So Swim Master says, I know it was Birmingham Forest, and that's what I thought it was, and I did say 1 million. Nita says, don't quote me, late 70s. I was correct, is what Ryan's saying. Swim Master says yes to Forest and some bye. So I'm trying to see. Right, you ready? Right, what would Trevor Francis's 1 million transfer in 1979 be worth today? Oh, shit, where did it say that? As the world mourns his death at 69. So, let me have a look what it says. Right, the Daily Mail have done a thing on it. Right, okay. Right, so an online inflation calculator shows France's record fee would be, this is just with inflation for your answer, Swim Master. With inflation, and they've just adjusted it with inflation. They've not really done it on ability and on price, but they said with inflation, a 1 million fee back in 1979 today is worth £5.4 million. But that's not quite right because that's just with inflation, right? So to me, I think that would have been worth, what would $1 million be? Because $1 million was a lot of money back then for a striker. But then, as soon as Francis went for $1 million, then you started having people going for 2s, 3s, 4s. Just get this incorrect. So first. So we're saying 1 million was in 1979, yeah? Right. Right. Right, let me see this one. Yeah, Swim Master, I think it can more, but they're just measuring it with inflation, aren't they? So, right, here we go. Milestones, all right? So, you ready? Because you've asked the question, Swim Master. So, I'm here to give you the answers. Right. So, in 1902, the first £500 transfer was for a player called Alf Common. He went from Sheffield United to Sunderland, and he was the first £500 transfer. 3 years later, the first £1,000 transfer was also Alf Common again, and he went from Sunderland to Borough, to Middlesbrough. In 1914, 2,500, the first 2,500 fee was for a player called Percy Dawson, and he went from Hearts to Blackburn Rovers. 8 years later, we had 5,500, and that was someone called Sid Pudfoot, who went from West Ham to Falkirk. 6 years later, you had the first 10,000 plus. It was in 1928, a guy called David Jack went from Bolton to Arsenal for £10,890. 21 years later, you had the first 25,000 plus deal, which was a £26,000 deal for Eddie Quigley from Sheffield Wednesday to Preston North End. Some 8 years later, you had the first 50,000 plus deal. Some may remember this. It was a £65,000 deal for John Charles when he moved from Leeds United to Juventus. In 1961, the first English player went for over £100,000, and that people might remember was Dennis Law for 110,000 to Manchester City to Torino. The first player to go for £200,000 was 9 years after that, in 1970, and it was one Martin Peters who went from West Ham to Spurs. The first £500,000 deal for an English player was in 1977, and that was Kevin Keegan from Liverpool to SV Hamburg. The first £1 million plus player in 1979 was Trevor Francis from Birmingham City to Nottingham Forest, and he went for 1.18. So 1,180,000. 2 years later, the first £1.5 million signing was made, and that was Brian Robson, Captain Marvel, from West Brom to Manchester United. 5 years later, the first 2 million plus player was Mark Hughes when he went from Man United to Barcelona for 2.3 million. A year after that, in 1987, the first £3 million player at 3.2 million was Ian Rush from Liverpool to Juventus. In 1989, 2 years after that, the first £4 million plus English player was Chrissy Waddle when he went from Spurs to Marseille for £4.25 million. In 1991, 2 years after that, the first £5 million player was David Platt, who went from Aston Villa to AS Bari. 5 years later, in 1996, the first 10 million plus transfer was Alan Shearer from Blackburn to Newcastle for £15 million. In 1999, you had the first 20 million plus player was Nicolas Anelka, who went for £22.5 million from Arsenal to Real Madrid. 2 years after that, in 2001, you had the first £25 million plus player was Juan Sebastian Veron when he went from Lazio to Manchester United for 28.1 million. And then in 2004, 3 years later, you had the first £30 million plus player was Wayne Rooney from Everton to Man United for 31 million. But it does say the note for it says the Wayne Rooney transfer was initially 23 million, but will rise to 31 million. And I think that's as far as it goes on that. So hopefully that gives you answers and context to other players as well. And you say you just Googled it just now, and inflation from 1979 is now 7.5 million in today's money in 2024. As I said, I'm just going by what it said when I looked on and the Mail Online came up, and it just goes to show how the money gone AWOL today in today's transfers. And you're quite right, quite right. People, tomorrow we have I have the watch along tomorrow at 10:30 in the morning. So it's 11 o'clock kickoff for Tottenham tomorrow, but it will be a 10:30 show. So I'll do it half an hour before the game starts, and it's Vissel Kobe versus Tottenham. So everybody, you're more than welcome to join me for tomorrow's show for the watch along. But for now, I'm going to thank you all for being here. I need to thank Peter Kegayas, who became a YouTube member today. So thank you very much, Peter, for your support. And David Shear, who gifted 5 LTEL Cockerel memberships today. I thank you both kindly from the bottom of my heart. And I thank everybody that's been in the chat today. Thank you for your comments. As I said, this was merely one about trying to get the games out to people to let them know that we're watching it and that what games we're playing this season. And it wasn't really a football related one, but we've answered some football questions. So with that, I'm going to love and leave you all. I hope you enjoy your Fridays in whatever you do. And some of you in Australia, it's already Saturday, and I hope you enjoy your Saturdays as well. And I will be back tomorrow, 10:30 BST, for the Vissel Kobe game. Listen, guys, it's in Ange we trust, and it's come on, you mighty Spurs. Thank you, everyone. Take care.